So I just wanted to speak on a topic that's been on my mind, and um, it has to do with, um, when we develop these deeper and deeper levels of discernment. Okay, we see the dynamics played out. We see the different tricks the devil plays. Okay, whatever nomenclature you want to use, whether it's the new age or religious, or we're all talking about the same thing. We know words are 3D, cumbersome, they suck. Okay, well, I mean, the way it is now. Okay, the way language has the, it's all messed up the way words are now. But one of the things that I see playing out, and you really see the just the discrepancy in the youngest generation right now of grown adults, but the youngest generation of grown adults right now. So kids in their 20s, um, 30s, teenagers. Okay, right now they're the the backwards, upside down shit that the devil does is trick you into believing something is a certain way by constantly bombarding you with images of that way. Um, Catchphrases, all these different things. The media is a really good tool for all of that. So it's really important for me personally. I don't watch television. I pick and choose. Just like when I was a kid, I didn't like the radio because a commercial would come on and it would like disturb the energy, or a song that I didn't like so I always played my own. And I've gone through my own stages of music, and I'm sure like everyone has. But and then there's ones that have stuck with me forever, like Led Zeppelin. I don't want to get off in a musical tangent, but it's a magical time right now. So this backwards, upside down, yeah. So the media is, but we can't blame the media if we allow it in. Okay, we're just open to that influence. So if you listen to radio, you have to be careful what you watch on YouTube, all that. But I believe YouTube is safer, but then, they monetize. There might be a commercial that disturbs your energy or something, so it's hard to, we have to sometimes be a little bit guarded and protective of ourselves and be prepared, I guess, kind of like ready for battle, like ready for anything. So these things don't trip us up and get us caught in snares and, get us feeling a certain way and not us being in our organic now. So it's just a kind of a okay, so this dynamic is like a social thing that relates with nature. It's been told to us that men are to be more drab, like in the colors that they wear, um, the variety of their clothing. Okay, I mean, it's getting better, but I mean, there was a time when, they had wigs and the powdered wigs and all that, satin lederhosen, but I mean, I'm talking about our culture and, our American current culture and what the energies are. The masculine has been told that anything feminine is, so, women want to be colorful, express, whether it's laughter or tears, or, okay, so, oh, women do that? Okay, so make sure not to do that because you're a man. You want to be totally the opposite of that. So, and this is how we've been brainwashed, this backwards way of thinking, okay? Because think of nature. Look at all the males in nature. Every single species. Okay? Well, I guess except for the spider, I think maybe the females are bigger, I'm not sure. But I'm talking about like mammals, okay, and birds, and what you mostly see in nature is the male, is the more colorful, boastful. They have the long mane. They have the more colorful feathers. Okay, and then the female is very modest. Okay, and has the camouflage and blends in more. And because they're more vulnerable, they have. Okay, so they balance each other out, right? So, but what we've been taught as humans, excuse me, is that men are to be less colorful in every aspect. So the way they dress, the way they speak, I don't know, their shoes, everything, their home, their car, everything needs to be just like, plain, simple, not colorful, not, okay? And the women have been encouraged to be more, showing off the skin, being more colorful. And this is not a judgment, okay? This is an observation, like a scientific observation of like how our culture has been influenced by this brainwashing of flipping nature backwards, okay? And this is what the devil does. And when you turn things backwards or upside down and backward, it creates confusion, it creates opposition, it creates distortion, it creates all these negative emotions, okay? This is where the pain and suffering comes from, of having things not in their natural organic order, the way God wants it to be. And if you think, just like, okay, if you're out at the beach, and I know there's some like topless beaches in your, okay, whatever, I'm just saying the majority of the time, women have their little bits and pieces, covered up, and men have like their shirt off, they have their chest out, they're more puffed up, they're louder, more vocal. That, I don't know, that's what I've observed from just as a human being, interacting with other human beings. Men are more competitive and boastful and that kind of a thing, okay? And women are, they're more reserved, they have the more intimate, talks with each other and sharing more. It's a balance, okay? And it's the divine, not the distortion. And when we allow ourselves to fully embody the feminine, and we allow the masculine to fully embody the masculine, and they do the same, then we have that, we don't have all the calamity that comes with the distortion. So, and what happens is when, the woman makes herself vulnerable. Thank you, Spirit. That's what I couldn't get earlier when I was trying to think, like, how it creates a danger. Because she opens herself up too much. The females is physically not the stronger of the two, okay? Doesn't leave far from the nest. Is like the male is the more colorful, more expansive. I can hear people saying, they're like, well, what about penguins? And I'm talking in more general, broad terms, I guess. And it's kind of more of a social conditioning aspect is what I'm talking about here. Is, and a lot of the younger generation, they just take it for granted that, this is just the way we dress. And I see a lot of the clothes, even for like really young toddlers and stuff. I'm just like, wow, I'm like 40 or 41, and I never even wore a skirt shorter than like what went right above my knees. Usually I like to cover my knees because I don't like my knees. I have scars from softball and stuff. So, but right below the knee, like, that's as short as all, unless I'm around the house or whatever. I'd rather not, during the summer, I just wear like a sarong, whatever, but, it's like, but just around the house. But it's like the modesty, when we're not modest as the feminine, we expose ourselves too much. We open ourselves up for, uh, variables that can bring that it's possible. It's a variable, so we don't know, but it's possible because it's a variable. We're allowing for more variables that opens ourselves up to more danger. Okay, the way we defend is by protecting and preventing the danger in the first place, by being more modest, reserved, and more secretive. Okay, that's like the high priestess. We're more secretive, we're quiet, we're in the shadows, and that's why it's been associated with the devil and darkness and bad and the woman, female, feminine energy, because of that, because it's misunderstood, because it's secret. It has to be secret. It needs to be protected. And that's what we need the divine masculine to do and understand. They protect. Right? And then we have a flourishing nest. Whatever we want to create, there it is, right there. We create magic. So, as humans, though, we've been conditioned the reverse, that the man is to be subdued and less colorful, like the woman is supposed to be. And the woman, or masculine, feminine, I'm just talking in broader terms, okay? The woman now is like the more colorful, more exposed. You see it in reflected in clothing, just makeup, clothing. I'm not judging. I'll wear. I don't know. The last time I wore makeup was the last time I took a picture for my. That's on my channel. I think it was September last year in September. That's the picture that's on my channel. The little profile picture, but. It's not a judgment if you do that. It's just a social conditioning that you're a part of, that, it's hard to not be, because we're so bombarded. And I know, because I was in that. I know what it feels like. It was a long time ago, like when I think I stopped wearing makeup probably, I would say probably my junior year in high school. It was in high school, because I know as a freshman I have memories of we're all putting our makeup on in class all the time. So I had sometime in high school after my freshman year, but I didn't work. I stopped, maybe for a special occasion, you're going over to the in-laws for Christmas, stuff like that, once in a great while, okay, for a special occasion, or you want to take a nice picture of yourself or something. But to be a slave to it and feel like you have to put it on every day, or have a job that, God forbid, requires you to wear makeup or something. I mean, but if it's something that you enjoy and that is fun to you, but it's like we've been so conditioned to just think that that's just a part of being a female, is wearing makeup, hiding any flaws that we have, being that's shame, it's shame. And people can say, well, that's shame what you're talking about, because you're saying women should be covered up. And no, to a certain extent, there's, I don't know if it's just my Capricorn, my earth sign nature, but what was that show that, What Not to Wear? There's a show called What Not to Wear, and you can probably find it. I think it used, I can't remember. I think it used to be on maybe the E channel, E for Entertainment Channel or something. You could probably find it, whatever. If you, I mean, really, if you want to know how to dress the body type and stuff, it's a really great show, and it was pretty funny, and I really resonated with, those people. It was, some of them were really tear-jerking. I really liked that show. And I wanted to get into fashion design, actually. It's an interesting thing, because when I expressed that to my foster parents, their reaction was, that's a very competitive business. That was their reaction. And I dropped my fashion merchandising, I was going to take a pattern, I was going to, start taking those classes to, design, make my own patterns, all that. Because I knew how to sew. I was already good at that. I learned that, my mother was awesome seamstress, made wedding dresses, all that. So we get conditioned by one thing, gets stuck in our head, and I didn't even realize it until years later when I looked back and I said, yeah, wow, I still love fashion and all that. Why didn't I do that? And I searched through the record bank, the Akashic record, whatever, review of your life, and I went back and I remembered that statement, and I went, oh, there it is. That one statement of someone reacting to someone expressing their dream and shooting it down, okay, and boom, cut off. But I went off on a little tangent. But that's a very important thing right there. Making these connections, okay? We're not fulfilling our dreams because we don't even know why. Subconsciously, we get these negative seeds, the black seeds planted instead of the golden seeds, okay? The golden seeds help someone to flourish. They encourage that. They foster that. They nurture, okay? So this show, it was great because it taught women. They might have had some men on there. I think it was mostly women, because women are the ones that have an issue with the stressing and the shaming and there's a lot, with our bodies and everything. And so it taught you how to really embody the divine feminine through, everything. But this show the aspect was the way you dress, okay? And it wasn't about fancy and name brands and all. It wasn't like that. But of course, they had a big budget and whatever, so yeah, they had a lot. It's a show on E, whatever. But it is what it is. But what I took from it was to just sensibility in everything that you do, even the way you dress. You're sending out messages, okay? One of the main things I think that I took from that, and this is not a fashion advice thing, this is just, part of the divine feminine that's been distorted, okay? And it's, so, if you're going to show off your legs, then you cover your arms. So there's, cute little, even if you want to wear hot pants, if you got the legs for it, and that's the part you want to show off of your body, that you like your legs. I like my arms and shoulders, okay? So I usually wear, something that has that exposed, and I'll wear something, some kind of pants, usually, cute little pants, what are they called? They go right below the knee, okay? So, you pick the part of your body that you really like, and you find clothes that fit your body type, so they complement you. And so if you want to show off your belly one day, and maybe your whole body looks good, right? But just because your whole body looks great doesn't mean you just want to show off your whole body all the time. It's, if you're a spiritual being, you have to remember that you have to ground those energies. So how are you doing it? Well, the way you dress, all different things, the food you eat, what are your habits, all of it, okay? The music you listen to, the things in the 3D, that's how you're grounding spirit into form. So what are you doing in the way that you dress and the way that you eat and all these 3D things, okay? It's the expression of your spirituality through the 3D. So, you want to show off your tummy's looking good, you're like, all right, show off your tummy, but then you have cute little long sleeve thing that is like a little midriff thing, and then you have some like nice little, you know, baggy hippie girl pants or something, you know, just cute and sexy and flirty and fun and balanced. And you know, I don't know, maybe I'll who knows where I'm going to branch off into, you know, maybe I'll start getting back into fashion. And you know, I have this sewing machine, it's sitting here, and I have my hands so full right now, but once my son gets a little bit, you know, like settled, and you know, I've got to really focus on my health and working with my son right now. And I'm, you know, gonna start preparing for really delving deep back into the things that used to really inspire me and make life seem magical. And fashion design, for me, that was one of the things for me. And I loved gardening. It's that with all the chemtrails right now, I'm not really too into this. So I'm thinking of more of the artistic avenues of what I, you know, in my physical body's a little bit limited. So the things I used to love to do, like tennis and all, I can still go on nice long walks when I'm feeling good. So I love that. One of my favorite things to do is walk. So, you know, I can't really play tennis, and I can't go on a, you know, bike ride. I have my son. There's no babysitter. It's just me and him. That's it. And done. So mommy has very limited freedoms and stuff, but within those things you can find magic, you know. We don't have to look at our limitations. And but getting back to this subject of this backwardness, you know, I think that's really important for women to focus on how they're expressing the divine feminine in all the different things, you know, how they're raising their children, how, you know, do you like get a babysitter every weekend and go to the club? Like, I never get, when he's asleep at night, that's my time to myself. He's attached to my hip everywhere I go, because I'm away from God took me away from everybody. There ain't no babysitter, baby. There ain't, and I homeschool I don't trust anybody anyway, especially nowadays, and he can't talk, so, you know what I'm saying? I know you feel me, you mothers, single mothers, especially out there, who don't have, you know, there's some people who don't have the resources like other people do, and it just is what it is. It's not a pity party, you know, but you got to make adjustments and acclimate to your life. And I think that's another thing when we're not happy, is because we're not accepting our circumstances. Sometimes just accepting and allowing what is right now and how your life is right now will bring you peace, and that will bring a better, lighter feeling, and you won't feel so sad and depressed about your, you know, sucky life. You know, believe me, I've gone through so much. I don't even want to get into it, and there's so much where, you know, I would go, I gotta write a book. Seriously, no, really, I do. That's another thing. Get back into my writing and this fashion design, and I encourage all of you who have been going through so much healing. You know, it's been, just, we couldn't even focus on anything else, okay? So I feel like we're really coming back into, it's like this great restoration has happened, and this magic is being ushered in, and we're starting to wake up to the true divine feminine. And now we're really feeling into the divine masculine and seeing like how wounded he is and all that stuff, and crying for them, and it's not this, it's this much lighter feeling, and it's not like a codependent thing. It's that as much love and wanting to be with them as that codependent thing is, but the discernment brings in the boundaries and the self-love and everything. So I kind of went off into a twin flame thing, but it's, you know, this is what we're healing. We're healing these distortions. We're healing these upside down and backwardnesses, if you will. So you know, And the divine feminine needs that protection, okay? There's a fragility and a vulnerability, a precious flower, blossom that needs protection, okay? It's like protection from the rain, so that the when you water the plant, you don't want to water the blossoms because they'll brown, you know. And what the divine masculine does is he's like that tarp that covers the rose bush, you know, covers the blossoms, the bushes with all the blossoms. He's that giant tarp that covers the blossoms when it rains, so that they can bloom longer, you know. And what do they do? They bring beauty, color, fragrance, life, okay? The flowers, the fruit, they contain the seed, the proliferation of life. That's the divine feminine. So yeah, and we both have both inside of us, so we have to encourage the divine masculine to embody his divine feminine. That's how the divine masculine part of him will be fully healed and balanced. Okay, both parts need to be healed and balanced for them to balance each other out. Okay, so as within, so without, and that's what happens outwardly between the two, the dynamics that play out between the two twins. Okay, so yeah, okay, we're gonna leave it there. A little bit of ramblings. I don't know, I just had some stuff on my mind and I just wanted to share it. And yeah, so I love you guys, and blessings to you all. Peace be upon you all, and until next time, yeah, just remember that it's already okay. And I said that in another video, and it's true. We're all, just imagine yourself being there and embody the energy as if, you know, just like the way the Tibetans pray. Like, their prayer is really just setting the intention, and then you go on with your life as if it's already existing for you, because it is. Time is an illusion the way we perceive it. So just know that you're already okay, all of you. All right? Peace and blessings.